At the shelters about it this winter, but with the homeless about a year and a half, 2 years. We start in the morning. We make food for 200, so we prepare for Cannon and Salem. We make one meal for them for dinner. It starts at 7, and then over at Salem for 8:30, we bring food for them for breakfast here and sandwiches for breakfast at Salem as well. It's a little down right now because some people are going over to the Salvation Army warming shelter, and because they're not busing so much back and forth, they got a longer walk to go over to Salem if they're staying there. So their doors open at 9. It takes about an hour walk to get down there. I think that access to food and clothing is super important. It's hard for us to bring food, get it here, serve it. The volunteers that we have are awesome, but this is a 24-hour-a-day job. I don't work, so I spend all day, every day doing this. I take one night off a week sometimes. Yesterday was my day off, but I was still here, and I ended up working. So, yeah, thanks. It's every day, and we don't just stop just with this. Like, we're downtown, we look for their needs. If they need shoes or coats or hats, they find us, and someone sends us a list, and we go out and try to find it in the community, and it's all works on donations. If people are willing to give, then we'll come pick it up and clean it and get it back out, and these guys are willing to reuse it, even used socks, everything these guys need. And safety concerns, they're outside, and yesterday it was 19 degrees. I was outside for 2 hours and I was frozen. And these guys are standing out at Salem at 4, trying to get a spot. So I can't imagine what they go through standing out there. They're freezing just standing in line. And we're struggling to keep food hot for them. I can't imagine just trying to keep their feet warm. And out here, dry feet is life. Like, your feet get wet and you die. They get frostbite, they end up at the hospital, and that's it. It's over after that for the winter, And most of these guys, if they take their shoes off for you, they all have frostbite. So one of my main goals is coming in here, and I bring socks every other day. So they switch out their socks, but there's no access to laundry, and there's no access to showers. So when they do get a shower, it's easier to throw away their socks and get new ones than it is to wash them, because there's nowhere to wash them. I could take their laundry home every day, but I could never get it back to them. And I don't even know whose it would be. So you'll find lost and found bins here that are full of clothes. And I just take them home and wash them and bring them back out, because it's easier for them to get rid of stuff than to... My daughter's a heroin addict, so she's out here. Sometimes she's sober, sometimes she's not. Currently she's sober for about 30 days now, but this is where she lives. This is what she does. I spend my days finding her, and these guys help me. If they see her, they call me, and I come get her. She's 23. I raised my 3-year-old granddaughter. So I know what this life is. I know what these guys struggle with. I know what addiction and mental health, what problems they have in the community, and what resources aren't available to them. There's a guy yesterday went up to the hospital, and because he made a ruckus, they kicked him out. And he needs meds. But he's going to make a ruckus every time he goes because he needs meds. And he needs an advocate. He needs somebody to be able to go in with him and sit with him for 6 or 7 hours on the list until they call his name back and talk to them about what's going on, because he's not going to be able to communicate with them. He's going to get angry because he sat there for 6 or 8 hours. He doesn't understand until he gets somebody to help him, but most insurances won't cover that, somebody to help them out like that. And unless they're a veteran, which some of them are not, then they don't have those advocates available to help them. And a lot of insurances won't pay for them. We have advocates that come into the shelters, but some insurances won't pay for them. Well, you would think that a lot of these are addicts and mental health. It's not just that. We have a lot of working homeless in the city, because our homeless population, just the available housing is at less than 1% in the city. And we have working people that come to the warming shelters, or people who just come to eat and leave because they can't afford food or they can't afford affordable housing. We have a couple pregnant ladies that come up to Cannon after work, and they're trying to save money to get an apartment by the time they have their babies. So it's a tough life, and they're out on the street, and they have nowhere else to go when they're not working, and they're getting harassed because they're sitting down or laying down. But it's Sunday, and the bus doesn't run till 8 o'clock, and they get kicked out at 7 a.m. and nowhere to go. So the plaza's been nice enough to let them come in, and they can bring their carts. So like a cart like this can't go in anywhere except the plaza. So they have to go to the plaza because this is everything they own in one basket. And imagine if you're carrying everything you own in one basket, you've got to protect it because someone will steal it. I'd like to see more love and kindness being poured out, get to know these people. They're not just the homeless. They're not these people. These are human beings that are needing stuff. They're struggling, and we should be helping them, Everyone here needs something. They're lacking something. They're missing something. We're all a paycheck away, or a bad circumstance away from being in this same position. A little more kindness, a little more understanding. I know there's some ruckus that gets caused. There's a lot of mental illness and some addiction, but addiction is huge, and it needs to be addressed, I think, by everybody, and not just pushed under the rug and these guys just pushed over to the side. And these aren't beds. These are mats. We need beds. And you can get these guys off the street, and they'll be able to have somewhere to sleep. And if you have 8 hours of sleep, less likely to make a ruckus downtown. It helps. You have food in your belly and a place to sleep. It makes a big difference.